The other thing that's happening is, just say you're in a capping emotion, you're feeling some rage. I'm finding a lot, you'll be in that state and sort of saying, okay, I'm angry, something's caused this great rage in me, I want to get to that, what's causing this, and it doesn't come up, so you get more angry, more rage, and you're like, all the self-judgment of, I don't like who I am now, because I don't want it, I want to deal with what's causing this, and then frustration and all that. It's like sometimes there's things inside of you that just won't budge, no matter what.
You think of your anger like a door. Here's your grief, or your fear, or other emotions like shame that your anger might be covering, right? So these are the causal emotions. This is like the capping emotion, the anger. The fastest way to get to your grief is to walk through the door. Now, what most people do is they have a lot of judgment emotions about anger. So let's list some of them. Like, anger is not spiritual. Right? God doesn't like me if I'm angry. I'll get punished if I'm angry. How many of us feel that one? Like, from our childhood, we were punished every time we were angry, so of course we believe that if I'm angry, I will be punished. So you could say these were all there's a heap of blocking emotions about the anger itself. Can you see that? So what's happening in your case, Josh, is that there's a heap of blocking emotions about the anger itself. And so rather than trying to get to the grief, or even for yourself trying to get to the anger in a full experience, the key is to feel the blockages. So what are the belief systems? Pray about the belief systems you have about anger. What are they? And you'll find they'll come from your childhood about, what you were... Anger was was an emotion that you weren't allowed to experience very much in your childhood at all. Allow yourself to work your way through those blocks, then the anger will be present. Allow yourself to feel the anger like a doorway into your grief. So that's when you go out, once you're in that state, you can go out and start punching the bag and feel the rage and anger inside of you, right? And then when you feel that very rapidly, usually if there's no blocks to your anger and there's no blocks to your grief, within 20 to 30 seconds, you will go from that place to that place. Does that make sense? Now, many of you have seen recently how people who have been projecting anger at me have been projecting anger at me for weeks or months. So they're not allowing this to occur. They're not allowing themselves to get through the door of their anger and into their grief. So there's some blockages occurring. And there will be beliefs about anger, beliefs about grief, and so forth that we need to also work our way through. Now these, God can't help us with specifically, except by exposing them through our law of attraction. God's laws are already helping us to expose them. But God can't take them away from us because they are our choice to retain. That's why they block. They're actually the things we do to retain and not deal with the underlying causes. Does that make sense? So the key is to look at this area. If we're in the state where we know we've got grief, and then we're in a state where we know we've got anger but not really experiencing it, then we've got a set of beliefs inside of us that are blocking that process from occurring. Ask God about those beliefs. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thanks for that.
Good. Karen?